One of my problems with Hollywood crowd is I feel like they keep making sequels to movies, right? Like, I don't know if anybody here saw Taken 3 with Liam Neeson. Yeah, she's a huge fan. It's the third in the Taken trilogy. It's why there's a 3 at the end of it. I even heard this crowd that Hollywood, they're actually coming out with the fourth one of those movies. They're making a fourth one. It's starring a ghetto family. It's called Took. That's a well-written joke, guys. Are you ready for the next topic? I need some energy here. Everybody, plays all over. Put together for Rita Desnoyers-Garcia, everyone.
Shoot. Hi, my name is Rita. Hi. And I have a little confession to make. You guys seem pretty friendly, and I think you can keep a secret, even though we're being filmed right now. The reason I'm doing a stand-up right now is because I'm addicted to Facebook. Yeah, if I'm behind the mic, I'm off the sauce of social media. Yeah, I'm still kind of wondering what cat videos I'm missing right now. But Facebook's been a real time suck for me, you know. Just last week, I took down my Christmas decorations from 2016. And I've cleaned up my act. I've traded in my smartphone for a dumb phone so I can call or text. That's pretty much it. And it's the kind of texting where you hit the buttons a couple times to get the right letter. And when I tell my friends this, they're like, "Oh my God, Rita, you are so brave. I could never do that." And I look them in the eye and I say, "Yeah, I'm brave. Cops, firefighters, and flip phone users. We are making America great again. You can thank me for my service by giving me a 15% discount or, you know, just invite me over to your house or something." One of the things I really loved doing with my smartphone, though, was putting it on airplane mode. Because when I saw that little plane on the top left-hand corner of my phone, I was going to the greatest nation of them all, my imagination. And I could imagine that I was traveling somewhere new. So I would leave the front door of my house and go, "Whoa, the houses are so different here." And my neighbor would come out and say hello, and I'd say, "Hello, random stranger. People are so friendly around here." And then I go in airplane mode to the grocery store, which is the best because I go to Trader Joe's, where everyone wears Hawaiian shirts. So it's kind of like going to a tropical island. And I'd walk in and I'd pretend I didn't know any of their products, and I'd see an orange and I go, "Wait a minute, it's a Tangelo, where am I?" I'd walk down the snack aisle and I'd see crackers made of sweet potatoes and beets, and crackers made of cheese. I thought, I gotta bring a bunch of these home. No one is ever gonna believe this. And I can't believe I just forgot the next line. But sometimes I go all day on airplane mode, you know. So if my kids were acting up, I'd say, "Flight attendant, more champagne, please." If my husband was in a lousy mood, I'd say, "Darling, I'm going to wander the gardens this morning. Call me when it's time for lunch al fresco." When my kids were little, they had a really hard time sitting at the dining room table, so when they were acting up, I would sit down and pour myself a glass of wine, look my husband in the eyes, and pretend we were on an intimate date in a fancy restaurant. And right next to us was a family of 5 with 3 wild kids. And I'd say, "Honey, why are these parents bringing these wild children to the restaurant? Oh my God, is the wife flirting with the waiter? Oh my God, I think they're making out now. They're not even watching their kids. I guess any poor slob can raise children these days." You know, they say with every kid you lose brain cells. I have 3 brain cells. Yeah. Having 3 kids, 4 and under, was just totally overwhelming for me. If you gave me a nickel for every time I thought I lost a kid, but it was actually just holding them on my hip, I would take that change and put it on a high shelf, because nickels are filthy choking hazards, people. And when I was pregnant with the 3rd and I was out to here and I was walking down the street with the 2 little ones, it wasn't happy fun time anymore. I wasn't a birthing goddess. We were a circus act. You've heard of the Flying Zambinis? We were the walking, talking Garcias. And besides losing my kids, I was worried about leaky sippy cups and dirty binkies and diaper rash. But then when they became teens, it was forgotten homework and stolen bicycles and lost virginity. But one thing I did do right, I think, was food. I tried to feed my kids healthy, organic food. Except my 12-year-old, by some miracle, has managed to get his daily dose of sugar, artificial flavors and colors, and toxic chemicals. And that miracle, ladies and gentlemen, is 7-Eleven. At this point, I hold the fine people of 7-Eleven about 50% responsible for his upbringing. Last week he wanted new socks. I said, check with Tony the clerk. Maybe he can fashion some out of old burrito wrappers. And being a mother of a brood, I am a woman on a budget, so I can French toast anything. Last weekend I French toasted all the stale bread, and I ran out and I French toasted a Target receipt in my hand. And for some cheap entertainment, I asked the kids to see if they can find Jesus' face in the French toast. It's okay, I drew it on the Target receipt. I have a husband, as I mentioned, and he's Mexican. You can applaud that. He's still here. And sometimes he is a little sensitive to the undertones of what people say. We were having lunch yesterday, making some different things, and we were getting avocados out for guacamole, and he was going to throw an overripe one out. And I said, no, don't throw it out. Just cut it, and then get rid of the brown parts. And he said I was being racist. But I understood. What he needed was his wife, a white ally, to stand up with him to make the guacamole, essentially, really. But he's also a little insensitive, too. I mean, last night he walked the 1 foot that it takes to get from the bedroom door to the bed without bumping into anything in complete darkness, and he said, wow, that was easy. I could be a great blind person. I don't know what the big deal is. And I went, wow. I said, you make a really great clueless person, too. When we first met, the 2 thoughts I had about him were, really smart, nice ass. But now 20 years later, it's like, really nice, smart ass. Am I right, ladies? So we're in couples counseling. It's a shocker, I know. But we really need to communicate better. So we do this thing called reflectively listening, which is one person talks and the other reflects back what they heard. So he said something yesterday, and I said, so what I'm hearing is, I'm right, and you're still wrong. But you know, he really supports my comedy. He says my jokes make people think, why did I pay $10 to come here? And my in-laws are great people. They are also from Mexico, and they live there now. You can applaud for that. They're really nice people. And they flew all the way up to watch my kids for a week, and my mother-in-law said, Rita, we wash our bed sheets every Friday. When do you wash the kids' bed sheets? And I understood. She wanted to make sure that we stay on the regular bed washing sheet schedule. But what I was thinking was, when was the last time I washed the kids' bed sheets? They had lice. There were buds on the trees. Obama was in office? Spring 2015. But what I said was, Friday will be fine. Friday will be fine. And that lice thing, boy, that really did a number on me. I think I have PTLD, post-traumatic lice disorder. Because when I see anything tiny and white, like a grain of rice or confetti or Jeff Sessions, I just torch the entire area, and I get out a bottle of Merlot and I start preening my kids' heads like a caffeinated rhesus monkey. But the one thing that's really helped everything is meditation. Because before meditation, my life was like this. Hey kids, I'm trying to relax. Shut the frick up. And now with meditation, it's like this. Hey kids, I'm trying to meditate. Shut the frick up. Namaste. Guys, you've been great, but I have to go watch some cat videos. My name's Rita. Thank you.